Okay, can you think of a time when you disagreed or had a big argument, and how did we resolve it? You should say that. I'll let you talk about that.
Oh, yes. We had a very big issue at some point. And
Yeah.
I think that we didn't talk to each other for a little bit of time.
Yeah, like almost a year or so.
Oh my God.
I know. I mean, not that we did not talk to each other completely, but the friendship was just like bland.
Yeah.
It wasn't like meaningful.
Yeah.
It wasn't deep. Yeah.
Maybe because we didn't address the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Living African Podcast. Today is such a special and very random episode. It's gonna be quite a fun episode, and we're just gonna be talking about friendships and sisterhoods. You know, letting you guys know we have just one mic. We're using just one mic because the other mic is faulty, unfortunately, but I could not miss an opportunity to not record this episode. So I have with me my BFF, my best friends, Kimberly, or at least one of my best friends.
Tell me.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
And Kimberly is all the way from the UK. She came here just for one night, and I'm like, we definitely have to get on the mic together.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Kimberly, you're going to introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, so guys, my name is Kimberly, as Anjabi has introduced, and I am her BFF, and she's my BFF. I claim that title. Well, I'm Jabi's friend. I would insist on that. And I'm also the founder of Passports Beyond Borders. I live in the UK, in Scotland particularly, as Jabi has mentioned. And I'm so excited to be here. Jabi, if there's anything else that you want to hear or let your guests know about me, then just go away and shoot with your question.
Right. And I mean, any other thing, we're probably going to put it in the show notes because we're actually rushing to record this episode before the baby comes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So how did we first meet?
That's a very nice question because our relationship goes way back.
Yeah.
Like way back to secondary school. I went to PSS Mancon in Form 4.
Yeah.
And Jabi was, of course, in PSS Mancon. And I remember my very first meeting with her. I'm not sure if she remembers this though, but I remember walking into a dormitory. I think it's G5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was in G5.
Yeah, so G5 is just the name of the dormitory. And Jabi was sitting on her bed. And as you can see, look at the way she's looking at me. Like, she's got like the most amazing eyes I've ever seen. So when I entered into that dormitory, that was the first thing I spotted. I was like, oh boy, like... this girl, she's got like really, and then she was looking at me as well. And I'm not sure if she can remember. I'm not sure if you can remember this.
I cannot remember.
But that was the first thing. At that point, we were not friends though, but that was the first thing that I took note of. So that was my first time meeting you.
Yeah, and I was like 13, 14. Yeah, but we're teenagers, like mid-teens, you know.
Mid-teens.
Actually, I started PSS in Form 1. And by the way, if she's calling me Jabi, you know that she's known me for a very long time.
I know.
Because only the day ones call
People
me that
call
name,
yeah.
right? I know you guys came like in the 4th year, that's Form 4.
Yeah.
And you and Pearl, I wish Pearl was here actually. Pearl needs to be part of this conversation, by the way. Pearl is like, we were like the trio, the three best friends. So Pearl unfortunately cannot make it here, but yeah, there's another episode coming with Pearl for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember you and Pearl were like one of the 2 new girls that came to
Form 4.
Form 4. And you guys were like the new girls on the block. And I
Yeah.
was like, who are these 2 girls? I mean, like, it was customary or at least normal for people to come in at Form 1 or like lower sit.
Yeah.
I would even think maybe Form 3, but like Form 4, that's when you're preparing for those big exams. So it was like, okay, who are these people?
Yeah.
I remember, like, to the best of my knowledge, I actually knew Pearl first.
Okay.
Like, I just approached. I thought maybe it was my duty to welcome the 2 girls.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you were that hospitable
Right?
at the time.
I was like, well, I need to know more about these 2 girls. And
Yeah.
I first, came in contact with Pearl, and I was like, oh, she's cool. She's quite cool.
Yeah.
And then Pearl was your BFF. So it's like naturally we just, vibed, and that's the rest is history, I guess.
I know.
Yeah. I guess that's how we met.
Yes.
Now, so what was your first impression of me?
I think my first impression of you, first of all, is I'll go back to your appearance, because you're really tall and slender, and beyond your appearance, and beautiful, of course, but beyond your appearance, you have such a wonderful, like, you have the most amazing heart. Yeah, I always used to say to myself, if I could be any friend, I would be Jabi, because Jabi knows how
look
to
at
be.
you.
Please don't cry though.
I know. I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah, if I could be a friend, I would be in Jabi. Because, like I said, Jabi has got, no, let me not say in Jabi. You have got such an amazing heart, like the best heart, the kindest heart, the most beautiful spirit anyone can ever have. And my impressions about you have not changed since I first knew you. You stayed consistent.
I'm trying not to cry. I definitely would not cry. I promise. I promise.
Yeah, you stayed consistent, and that's one of the values that you have that I really appreciate of you. You stayed so consistent, and it's not even only consistent in the way, in your approach to people and the way you relate with people. Just consistent generally in your life. So
thank you.
Yeah, so that was my first impression, and it's still my impression until this day. So yeah.
That's okay. Now what am I gonna say?
Well, you find your own answer.
Oh my God. My first impression of you, I felt like when I first saw you, like, you were drop dead gorgeous.
Hey.
I swear, like, back home, right, there's a look that people used to have, and we just knew that this person was from the abroad.
Abroad person.
Like, you had that look. You did not look like you were from this, like, our country. Like, you had your own country.
Okay.
Because, we had a couple of people that left from abroad and came to school. So, like, I could have sworn that you were one of the abroad people.
And to think that I'd never even entered a plane is...
I know, right?
I know.
And then another thing, I thought you were very, very quiet. You're always putting on a serious face.
Yeah.
And you were so quiet. And I was like, we just had that impression that if you are this gorgeous, you have to be out there, like, all over the place. No, you were so humble. You were so quiet.
Yeah.
And actually, that's what drew me close to you, because I was like, this is someone I want to have to be as my friend, because you were very quiet and you were just, I guess, someone that could take my BS.
And I'm still taking your BS until this day.
Right? So basically, that's my first impression about you.
Yeah.
What was the most memorable adventure that we've shared together? There's just so many, and I can't even think of a specific one, but...
Maybe you go first.
You want me to go first? Are you sure?
Yeah, go first.
Go. One of the moments that I always think about and I laugh, even though back then it wasn't funny...
Oh my God.
Was when we had a mutual friend, right? And it was like over 10 years ago. It was her wedding. And you were one of her bridesmaids.
I think I know what you're going to say.
So, oh my gosh. So, like, the night before, we went out for the batch eve and stuff like that in Cameroon. Actually, I came from America. So, like, it was a Christmas period, So we partied so hard that... You were extremely drunk and hungover.
I cannot even believe this.
And then you went back to the hotel. Like the next day, I was just like, we were panicking because everyone was trying to reach you, and no one could reach you. Nobody could reach you, and you were one of the bridesmaids. Like, we were literally getting ready, about to go into the church.
Oh my God!
Like, you were nowhere to be found. It reminded me of like The Hangover, only to realize that you were so hungover and you would spend the whole night, you were just throwing up
Oh my God. I don't remember this.
You were throwing up the whole night. And I don't even think you showered that morning to come to the...
Oh my God. No way. That's
like, you literally just wore your breath.
Well, but if we put the pictures out, you
the pictures were proper, like your makeup and everything, but like, no, but like the bride was already like, everyone had given up, like, okay, you were not going to show up.
Oh my God.
And you came like separately.
Is that really what happened?
That's what happened. Yes.
Hey.
You came, like, you just showed up. Man, like, At that time, it
Wait,
wasn't
guys,
funny.
disclaimer, I don't remember any of this.
Of course you don't. You were hungover.
I don't remember
What do
this.
you remember?
What did you give me anyway?
What did I give you? Alcohol, I guess.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this was one of the moments that I was like, oh my God, Kimberly, here you go again.
Oh my God. I'm not too sure about being notorious like that. But yeah, if you say that's what happened, then maybe that's really what happened.
That's what happened.
Guys, I don't remember that.
Okay, what's your own memorable adventure that we shared together?
I think, let's see now. Well, mine may not be as funny, or I would say it may not really be an adventure per se, but it was such an experience, you know, and it's something that I'll never forget really, because it was when, I'm sure I'm going to be very emotional about this, but it was not like that kind of out there kind of adventure. This one was more intimate kind of, and that was when I had my baby. Yes, that was when I had my baby about 6 years ago, now almost 7.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember you're always very busy, you know, and you came so exhausted, Jabi.
And I arrived like at 12 midnight.
You arrived so late in the night, and I could see that you were exhausted. And but then you still came considering everything that was going on in your life at the time, and you were able to make it. But why is this experience so memorable is I remember laying on that bed because I just had a C-section.
Yeah.
And so Njabi had come and she fell asleep, okay? So I started to shake uncontrollably, and I didn't understand. So I woke up to breastfeed. I was actually breastfeeding, laying down, because I just had a C-section and it was so difficult.
Yeah.
And I was breastfeeding the baby, and then all of a sudden I started to get chills.
Yeah.
And I was shaking uncontrollably. My husband was in the other room, and then Jabi was in my room because she had come to do Omugo.
Right.
So, and I was like, my voice could not even come out. I was like, Jabi. And Jabi could not hear me because she was, of course, so tired. And then, I started to, shout, raise my voice, and she still could not hear me. And then the only thing I could do, because I felt like I was even losing consciousness, I had to hit the wall so my husband in the next room could hear me. So I hit the wall continuously until after a few minutes, he came over, and I was just like, take the baby. And then Jabi woke up so confused. She was like, oh my God, do you remember this?
Actually, I thought I could hear you shiver.
Yeah.
In my dream, and then I woke up.
Yeah.
And then
Maybe you woke up from when I started hitting the wall.
Yeah, I could hear you shiver. And then I woke up. I was like, Sue, are you okay? And you were like, oh no, you're fine. I'm like, no. When I heard those shivers, I was thinking sepsis. First thing I was like, nah. Because you were like, you just feel cold. All your organs are cold. And I'm like, I was thinking sepsis. What's going on here? So I was like, okay, we have to call the ambulance. I feel like you're going into a shock.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, don't worry, I'll be fine. I just need a cup of tea. And I'm like, no, I have to call your aunt. So I called your aunt. She came with the tea.
Yeah.
Oh, I think she came, and then I went and brought the tea.
Yeah.
She took your temperature. You were like 103.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, this is bad. And I even called my mom.
Yeah, I remember.
And my mom heard you shivering. She's like, take her now to the hospital. And you were
no,
so stubborn.
I was like, no, I don't need the hospital.
Oh my
because
goodness.
I couldn't understand what exactly was happening.
I was like, you have to go to the hospital now. And then we ended up taking you to the hospital, and then you can continue.
Yes. What I would say is that was so memorable for me because you were present in that moment.
Yeah.
Because I really did understand, and you just went into consultation mode. You had to consult with your mom.
Yeah.
Because Jabi's mom is a medical doctor.
Yeah.
And she too is also in pharmacy. She's a pharmacist.
Yeah.
So they understood what was happening. But it was, like I said, it was so memorable because that was a very difficult time, and you were there.
Yeah. And since you had sepsis and the baby could not come in, so I had to that was my first introduction to motherhood.
Yeah, because I was in the
God.
hospital while Jabi was at home looking after my baby.
Yes, for the rest of the time that I was there until I left.
Oh my God, that must have been so
nights.
hard.
Oh my goodness, it was really bad.
That must have been so hard.
It was really bad, but it was such a great thing for me to do. It was it was such a fulfilling thing for me to do, knowing that, I was there for you at your
Yeah.
lowest. So,
Yeah.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any inside jokes that only the two of you understand?
Inside joke.
Inside jokes.
I'm not sure now. Let me see.
Well, the one I want to say is very childish.
Oh my god. I hope it's not very
And this,
revealing though.
this was like way back when we were in secondary school. And you had your little boyfriend.
Oh my god, Joey, please don't say that. Don't say that one. Find a different joke. Find a different joke.
Okay. What am I gonna say? Oh my god. I cannot remember anyone off the top of my head.
Like inside jokes, no.
I know we always like there were some random things that always made us chuckle, like always
Yeah.
laugh, but it's like if another person knew, they weren't gonna
Yeah.
find it funny.
I know.
You know?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just leave it at that then. Since
Yeah.
you don't want me to say. All right. So, what's the one thing that we both mutually love? I mean, besides God and each other,
Okay, now you took that from me. I was gonna say each other.
right? What do we love
Maybe
together? We love
both
singing.
Yo,
Yeah, we love
yes,
singing.
We do love singing.
Yeah.
And guys, we were part of the Precious Piper. Let's go give a shout out to
Precious Pipers.
Precious Pipers. I'm sure you guys are gonna be listening to this, but shout
I know,
out to
right?
you all.
It's our group in high school or secondary school. Like we had a little girl band.
Girl group.
Yeah. So yeah, let's leave it at singing.
Yeah.
Is there something one of you loves but the other can't stand? Ugh.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, wait. First of all, you're very hard-headed.
Am I? I don't think I am.
You're very hard-headed, but it's not anything that I can't stand because I'm
Yeah.
hard-headed as well.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I just could not stand was like you were so quiet. Like you were
Yeah.
so. I was just like, oh my god, say something.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the humility, but
Yeah.
there were just some times when like especially when you mess up, it's like you literally take some time and you're just quiet,
Okay.
you know. And I'm like, like just say something, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
You're
that's
right.
it.
I think you're right. So I think maybe we should just say that I'm an introvert.
Yeah, you're an
So
introvert.
I tend to be very quiet.
Yeah.
But trust me, my brain is working really hard, and I can be speaking to myself like, you know, all the time in that quietness.
Right.
So maybe with you, I think it's just the opposite because you are very outgoing and you've got so much energy for going out, which my energy doesn't really match. Maybe in recent time, yes.
Right.
Or maybe not actually.
I don't know.
I don't know, to be honest, but Jabi is very social. She's got like all of you friends. So I'm like, okay now.
I have too many friends.
Yeah, you've got too many friends. Like you're always out there, which is a good balance, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yin to yang. Like,
yeah, I think it's a good balance.
opposites attract. So,
Yeah.
hey, there you have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you think of a time when you disagreed or had a big argument and how did we resolve it? You should say that. Like, I'll let you talk about that.
Oh, yes. We had a very big issue at some point, and
Yeah.
I think that we didn't talk to each other for a little bit of time.
Yeah, like
And-
almost a year or so.
Oh my God.
I know. I mean, not that we did not talk to each other completely, but the friendship was just like bland.
Yeah.
It wasn't like meaningful.
Yeah.
It wasn't deep. Yeah.
Maybe because we didn't address the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the thing is like I guess it's a toxic trait that I have. It's like I can be hurt by something and well, if it really strikes a chord and also if I feel like it's common sense for people to know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to address it. I'm just going to like I'll just accept what it is and push it behind me.
Yeah.
And just like, of course, I'm going to have a different impression about the situation and the person.
Yeah.
But I will still deal with the person, but like not as deep as it was before.
Yeah.
So again, I was glad that you brought it up and addressed it, even though I was like, there's no need. Like I had forgiven you and I was back, like I was okay. But I guess I forgive each other or whatever. But I was just like, then I was like, it's okay. You don't have to bring it up.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's not talk in parables. Like
Yeah.
say what happened.
Okay. So at Jabi's wedding, Jabi had been planning her wedding.
It wasn't even a white wedding. It was just a traditional something.
Well, let's not
yeah.
even call it just. It was a traditional wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jabi had been planning her traditional wedding, and you know we have the same circle of friends. everybody knew about this that was coming up, and there were quite a few people that were in Cameroon at the time in December. And in my own life, I had like personal issues in my own relationship. So we literally had broken up. So there was no hope for anything to happen.
Yeah.
And I was just going through so much at the time. And, you know, we had been talking about the issues. So I expected that, you know, she was going to understand what I was going through. So that whole year, you know, while she was planning her wedding, I was dealing with my breakup issues.
Yeah.
Actually, even the breakup issues, because for myself, we had already done like introduction and everything, but we had broken up after that.
Yeah.
So Njabi had her things going on for her, which was great. And that year, which was quiet for me, I had, you know, to deal with the breakup and also trying to fix the issues. I think it was in like maybe some point in that year that my husband now and I decided that we're going to get married. So I think we made that decision like 6 months to the date. So it was like a very short time of preparation. Yeah. And then I think I told you about it. I'm not too sure if I did tell you, but I think I did. I must have told you.
About well, you told me like closer to the to the wedding.
So she didn't take it well, of course. Well, I told her closer to the wedding, but we had been planning it for like 6 months, you know, just trying to get everybody back on board because it was a relationship that was very broken. Yeah, so just trying to get everyone on board. I had to be certain that this was something that was actually going.
Yeah.
So I now told her and told every other person who I thought was supposed to be part of it. And it didn't go down well with her because she had her date set and I had a date that was set. I think it was 3 days after your...
No, it was like it was the same weekend, actually. You set your own wedding date the same weekend as mine.
So yours was on Friday and I think mine was on Sunday.
Yours was, Sunday or Saturday or whatever.
Sunday.
Yeah.
It was a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it was even a joint wedding, my sister's and mine. Like, because we had my sister's knock door on Friday and then both traditional wedding celebrations on Saturday.
Yeah. And then mine was on Sunday. So can you imagine? It was very chaotic. First, because like our group of friends who had planned to attend her... I mean, this is a very serious situation, you know.
Yeah.
Like our group of friends who had planned to attend her occasion or her event couldn't because they were like, okay, so this is a traditional wedding and this is a white wedding. So I believe that we give more weight to this
to the white wedding.
Yeah. And then, so it kind of caused a rift.
And then also... we had to be each other's bridesmaids in our wedding.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, both weddings happen in different parts of the country. So it's not like it was in the same city that the next day we could just...
Yeah, exactly.
No, so it's like that would have meant I wasn't going to be able to attend your wedding.
And
you were not going to be attending mine.
Yeah.
So that was such a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really considered so many things. So I was like, do you know what? I think maybe you can travel like the next day to come. But it was not really feasible because, you know, it wasn't possible. And that's why one of the reasons why I had my one on Sunday, because I was trying to accommodate for all of that. And it couldn't be the upper week because it was like Christmas. And then my husband had to resume work, which was out of the country. Mm-hmm. So there was really no room for adjustment, so we had to be set on that date. So now what we're actually driving at is the issue of expectations, because I had my own expectations. I didn't see any reason why Jabi was offended by anything, you know, and she also expected certain things of me which I just didn't meet up with them. So you know, we kind of like we're just silently looking at each other like, you betrayed me. You know, like, you betrayed me. And, you know, it just cost us so much that period. And, you know, when you have expectations, it's always good to set expectations, like just lay them out there. Yeah. I believe, you know, just so that if at all, like, you're going to have an issue, it shouldn't drag for too long because, like, you've set the expectations already. Yeah. And when did we really talk about this? We really talked about this when I visited you.
Yeah, when you
San
visited
Antonio.
me in San Antonio, we had a conversation about
So that
it.
was
This
like
was
5
like how
years
many
ago.
years? Yeah.
About 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We had a real conversation about it, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I've offended you, because it was not my intention, because you knew how much I was going through. So I was expecting that you would see with me, but it wasn't the case. And I'm sorry. Please.
Well, I haven't forgiven you.
I still love you though.
Hey, love you too. Okay. Describe a tough time in your lives when you felt the other support the most. For me, I think like there've been many times that I've felt your support, for sure. You're like that one person that I know that I can come and talk to about anything, and you're never going to judge me.
Yeah.
You know, specifically, well, not even about judging. The incident I'm about to say is not with respect to you judging me or not. It's actually to highlight the fact that you are actually my prayer partner. I consider you as my prayer partner.
Yeah.
We've been through so many things that, you know, we've been praying together. You've always been supportive. Like, even when we were trying to conceive, like, you were such a foundation to us, praying for us, you and your husband.
Yeah.
And even when, like, I had this friend, a very close friend that, you know, kind of betrayed me.
Yeah.
And it really, really took a toll on me. You know, you were literally there praying for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, you were there, you know, just giving me like the Christ-like advice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I felt in that case, and I'm typically not the person to talk about my issues to people and stuff like that. Like, you probably think I've told you a lot of my issues, but I really have not, because sometimes I try to just push things at the back of my mind. But you were really there for me, and I definitely appreciate you for that.
Oh, that's so sweet. If I should say, I think you've touched on one of the things that was like the trying to conceive time, but I want to go back to, down memory lane, even in trying to get married, because see, the streets of singlehood is not like, many people want to get off those streets, but you need to know how to get off those streets. Yes. I think you really supported me in who I am married to today. I told you the issues, of course, that we were going through, and you were holding your ears and warning me, you know, like, oh, sir, this is your husband, you know, you have to be considerate of certain things, you know, you're just giving me all the necessary advice I needed at the time. And so I had like, at the time there were like options available.
You're a hot chick in the streets. You had too many options.
It's not a very good idea to have too many options. I must say, it's not.
Indecisiveness.
Yeah. But even from the beginning, before I got like into the relationship, and even until, you know, we're getting engaged and married, like, you've been there the whole time, like, you know, just holding my hands. And my husband appreciates you so much.
Aww.
Because you've been such a rock, you know, like, to lean on, which is great. Lots of people don't have that. It's not enough to just have people to talk to, but like people to talk to, and they give you sound advice. Yeah. Not advice that would lead you astray. Yeah. I think that's something that we need to celebrate, that, you know, we've been able to make good decisions based on the advice that we've given each other
without judging one another.
Yeah, I'll say.
For sure. If we both could go on a trip together, where will it be? Where will it be?
It would be somewhere.
Asia.
Yeah, it would be Asia.
Definitely Asia. I'd like to go eat all the food.
Yeah. And I would recommend
And
Malaysia.
you have been in Asia, right? You've been in Malaysia. You've lived in Malaysia before. So.
Yes. So I would definitely recommend. I don't think I've been able to explore a lot of Malaysia. So I'll definitely take you along to Malaysia.
Yeah, I've heard so many great things about it. And also even just the continent of Asia as a whole. I would love to go on a food tour.
Yeah. And
do some kind of eat, pray, love type of thing.
There's lots of places to go to. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How do we hope our friendship evolves in the next 10 years? We'll be grandmothers. Oh, not yet.
No. Not in 10 years. Maybe
right?
in 20 years.
Yeah.
But in the next 10 years, I see us maybe like
living in closer proximity to one another.
Hopefully. Oh, that would be good. Yes.
Yeah. And then I would say to me, just growing spiritually, growing in alignment with God together and individually.
Yeah.
And just, supporting one another as we keep raising our kids.
Children, yeah.
Who'll be mothers of multiple kids.
Amen to that, yes.
Right. What
Yeah.
about you?
I think you've said the most important things, but what I'll add is that I hope that we both have our pursuits at the moment. I mean, aside from our day jobs.
Yeah.
So this podcast is one of them, and you're instrumental in making a change, especially when it comes to sparking conversations.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we just be relevant when it comes to being agents of change. Yes. So agents of change in a different sphere. So like I mentioned, I'm founder of Passports Beyond Borders, and the platform basically is to help people settle and thrive abroad. I hope that in the next 10 years, we would have grown our platforms to maybe global level, and we're making changes at that level. That's where I see us, in addition to the things that you've mentioned. And of course, maybe having a business together, who knows?
Right?
Yeah.
If we would have to collaborate or start a business project together.
That was a timely question.
What is it going to be? The fashion. The fashion line.
Wait, let me tell you guys. So Jabi is my fashion icon.
My gosh. What?
So
that's a huge.
Wait.
A huge, a heavy statement to say.
Well, you would be surprised. Anyway, I love fashion, and Jabi loves fashion even more than I do. So we're hoping to collaborate on something. Hopefully.
Right. Hopefully, yeah, that's true. And then if there was one thing you could change about me, well, we could change about each other, what would it have been?
I'm not sure. I think you're just perfect.
Well, I think so too. I really don't think there's anything I could change about you. Honestly, what's the most valuable lesson we've learned from each other?
I think I'll go first.
Okay.
Like, you remember, guys, I mentioned that Jabi has such a kind heart and she loves deeply. But when she's hurt, she can be really hurt.
Yes.
She can be hurt deeply. One of the things that I've learned from you is just how to love people. Like I said, I want to be the friend that you are. I wish I could be a better friend to you. I'm not sure if I'm...
you're a great friend.
Yeah, but I just love how you love.
Yeah, I'm a hopeless romantic, guys.
Yeah, so, that's one of the things that I've learned is just how you're so generous with your time. You're generous with every other thing that God has blessed you with, and that's just so great. And that's what I would say.
Okay. The thing that I really appreciate the most from you, or the most valuable lesson, is also what I truly appreciate about our friendship, is that you were such a peacemaker. With you, there's no drama. We've had our misunderstandings, which is normal. If it was peaceful 100%, I would have started suspecting you, right? But you're such you have a very peaceful and calm spirit that it's like, even when you approach issues, it's like you just bring some sort of calm to everything. And honestly, with me, who's all over the place, and like sometimes I could be temperamental, it's like hard to even be temperamental with you. And it's like you make me really want to be calmer, and you're like that calm to my storm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And another thing I really appreciate, especially about our friendship, is just that it has been consistent regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
Like the same you, or maybe I would say I have been consistent as a friend to you as much as you have been to me.
Yeah.
Like since from the first day we met till now, like we have been the same thing for one another.
Yeah.
Like there's never been a time that we've had a conversation and I go to sleep and I'm like, this Kimberly is annoying. Like never.
Yeah.
Never ever. And it's just like having that consistent person in my corner is everything. Because it's very, very hard to find people like that. That's definitely one valuable lesson and one thing that I appreciate about our friendship. Yeah.
Are we allowed to cry now?
Right? I guess it's time to cry. So we gotta turn off the mic and turn off the cameras.
Please, so we can cry.
Yes. So I mean, I really feel good having this conversation with you.
It's been so great.
I know.
You know, before we started, we're talking about possibly how therapeutic this would be, because
I know.
you need to ask these questions to be able to like go deep
Yeah.
into your relationship.
Yeah.
So it's
You
been
know?
so great.
And you know, like I've actually had some friends, in quotes, like who may feel certain things about, like, I'm a very expressive person. I'll tell you what you want to, like, I'll tell you how I feel, but like, I will not even say some friends, they're just some people who are not too comfortable like expressing themselves about, you know, other people, and which is okay. You know, there's not many people that are as expressive, but it really means a lot when we, at least two Black women come together and really just appreciate one another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was such a great and therapeutic conversation. I love you. I love you. I know, let's not be too mushy. But it was such a great conversation, and I really hope that this encourages other friends to come together and just like express themselves about one another and how they feel for each other, right? And it was so great having this conversation. I'm gonna miss you. Kimberly's about to go back. Actually, she just came for one night. So yeah, I love you so much, girl. All right, well guys,
Thank you for having me.
I know, I was glad to have you too. All right, guys, we're gonna go and take care of business. So I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.